welcome. My name is Martin Sobo, and as usual, I'm sure glad to be with you. Today on the show, we shall be discussing health insurance services for Nigerians living both at home and in the diaspora. And so, to discuss this with me shall be the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Ultimate Health Management Services. It's a health management organization based in Nigeria, providing health insurance services for Nigerians. And the essence of today's episode is to see how you, as a Nigerian living outside the shores of Nigeria, can benefit from health insurance services in Nigeria. Many a times people do travel back home, and then when you're home, you are hit sometimes with medical emergencies. And because of the way things are structured in Nigeria, most of the time you're asked to make a financial or a cash deposit before you can be attended to. And that's what this topic seeks to discuss. I will probably be introducing my guests for today, but I'm going to have to take a short break. And by the time I return, I shall be introducing my guest for the day. Please stay. So today we are discussing, like I mentioned in my introduction, a health management organization based in Nigeria, Ultimate Health Management Services. It's an organization that has been into the provision of health insurance for a very long time, one of the pioneers in the industry. And today we are looking at the provision of health insurance services for Nigerians living in the diaspora. So, Otunba, would you like to give us a brief background of what Ultimate Health Services stand for?
Okay, I want to thank you so much for this opportunity to come on this program. I have been in the health insurance industry since 2004, and I have been a managing director, CEO in this sector since 2005 till date. Ultimate Health HMO was set up in December 2007, and we got the National Health Insurance Authority accreditation, which is a license to operate as a health maintenance organization in Nigeria, in July 2009. And since then, we have been in the health insurance industry, driving health insurance with passion, driving health insurance with a lot of professionalism, driving health insurance with a lot of innovation, and driving health insurance with a lot of corporate governance and best practice. Because I'm also a member of Institute of Directors. I'm also, as we speak today, I have been opportuned to represent the health maintenance organizations in Nigeria on the governing council of Nigeria National Health Insurance Authority, the regulatory agency that is regulating the business of health insurance in Nigeria. And as we speak today, I am also on the governing council of Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, that's NECA, and that is the umbrella association of private companies in Nigeria that was set up as far back as 1957 for the organized private sector to present a common front to discuss the growth of the economy with Nigerian government and the international organizations like like the United Nations, and that's why we are also a very strong member of the International Labour Organization, that's ILO, in Geneva. I think I want to stop at this point. Thank you.
So now, having given this background information, I'd like to know what informed your decision to move beyond the shores of Nigeria to, as it were, project or market your services to Nigerians living overseas.
Yes, thank you very much for that question. Since we came into the industry, or since health insurance was introduced in Nigeria as far as 2005, we've embarked on quite a number of research activities to determine and identify how Nigerians can be enrolled on the health insurance program and how we can achieve universal health coverage that is a global program introduced by the United Nations for all member nations of the body. And in 2018, precisely, we conducted a research to find out what form of financial support do Nigerians in diaspora provide for their dependents back home whenever the need arises. And we discovered that most of the time, what makes Nigerians in diaspora to send money frequently back home to either their parents, relatives, or business associates is when there is a need for anyone to access care. They consider that to be very important and they don't hold back on financial support on that. And we equally discovered in the process of doing this research that most times when this fund is sent to their people back home, the fund most of the time is never utilized fully to procure healthcare services. Most of the time, the fund is utilized mostly to take care of other basic needs, paying school fees, paying rent, even putting food on the table. And at the end of the day, it's only a fraction of whatever fund is sent that is utilized to procure healthcare services. In fact, most times it doesn't take them too far. And most times people still resort to self-medication because of the shame of so person sent this much. What story would we be telling him about the utilization of these funds? And having discovered all of these challenges, we realized that the only solution to address this particular need is for us as an organization to introduce health insurance program to Nigerians in diaspora, such that the moment they procure that particular plan for their parents, their business associates, or their relatives, they know that the issue of so person is ill and couldn't afford to go to the hospital is completely eliminated. So we looked at that particular issue, but the only challenge that we had then was the legal backing. There was no law to drive that particular process. And what we have done back home was to have worked closely with the government of the country in driving the law or the passage of the law to make health insurance mandatory. And we succeeded in achieving this in 2022, May 19th, to be precise.
Okay.
And the moment that law was passed to make enrollment on the health insurance program mandatory for all Nigerians and all legal residents, we felt the time is right for us to hit the ground running. And thereafter, we took up the law, reviewed the legal framework, and we discovered that that law also, gave the authority, the regulatory agency, the authority to regulate the private scheme that we are looking at. I said, oh, that's a good one. So we have complied with all legal requirements to develop this particular bouquet. And what brought us to this level was that we have achieved what is meant to be achieved locally. And that has now led to the development of the necessary framework, operational processes and procedure for us to upload the diaspora health insurance package for Nigerians in diaspora to procure for their people back home from us. So right now, the stage is set and we are ready to hit the ground running. As a matter of fact, we have hit the ground running by now creating the platform for Nigerians in diaspora to buy health insurance program or products for their dependents back home from Ultimate Health HMO in Nigeria.
Thank you so much. So, what has been the reaction since you launched out? Because my concern now would be, as a Nigerian living outside the shores of Nigeria, the first question I'm going to ask is, how does health insurance benefit me when I don't live in Nigeria? And if you are talking about my relatives back home, how do I ensure that when and if I indeed purchase any of these policies, that my relatives back home would not go through, because we must be honest to ourselves. Nigerians generally do not so much believe in the system. And so, how do you ensure that those whom you are marketing your product and services to, living outside the shores of Nigeria, have faith that at the end of the day, those services will be given. And then that for those of them who don't live in Nigeria, that when they do visit Nigeria, that eventually the services will be extended to them.
I want to thank you very much for this question. I want to respond by saying that if there is any sector that is strongly regulated in Nigeria as we speak today, it is the health insurance sector. Um, the products are well, first of all, whatever product you want to market now has to be approved and coded by the regulator. In addition to that, the next level of our activities now is to embark on strategic awareness campaign to create top of mind awareness for Nigerians locally and in diaspora to get to understand the fact that yes, the law has been passed to make health insurance mandatory. And there's a need for us all to embark on systematic compliance with that law because that law was put in place to ensure the well being of all Nigerians. And if there's anything that would not tell us when it's going to occur or happen, it's sickness. So if sickness does not announce is coming on arrival, it makes a lot of sense for everyone to now provide for that eventuality by paying a token to get it protected. And the process is so simple and straightforward. There are accredited healthcare facilities across the nation that have been enlisted on this health insurance program as healthcare providers. The health maintenance organizations are also accredited as the drivers of health insurance program. So the business of health insurance is like that of the banks. You need the regulatory agencies accreditation before you can perform the role of a health maintenance organization in Nigeria. As a facility that is diagnosis center or eye clinic or dental clinic or primary healthcare facility, secondary or tertiary, you equally need the accreditation of the regulatory agency for you to be a service provider on that same program. So being with this form of regulation, one thing is very clear: the enrollees that are enrolled, or Nigerians that are enrolled on this program, have a better understanding of what they are entitled to, which is equally cascaded to the healthcare facility that is chosen by them. And we, as the drivers of the scheme, we have equally deployed a lot of state-of-the-art technology and software to ensure that we mirror the operations of the service providers and also communicate effectively with the enrollees by giving them the form of identification, by also introducing every concept of driving the business that will give them that unhindered access to quality care. For instance, if you are enrolled on this program, it is expected that whoever is enrolled on this program from the diaspora is expected, whenever there is a need for anyone to access care in their chosen facility, there's a product or there's a service we call pre-booking concept, whereby you call us for us to pre-book you. In addition to that, after pre-booking you, we also follow up on you to ensure that you are not delayed unduly. In addition to that, the concept of telemedicine are part of the bouquet that we are exposing the enrollees to, such that most of the time you can touch base with our medical personnel in-house to clarify and explain a few things to you when the need arises. In addition to that, we have a functional call center that ensures that whatever you needed is given to you real time. So all of this, what we're doing in Ultimate, let me just put it succinctly, is looking at the global concept of doing things and deploying that same global concept to drive the program we are driving in Nigeria. And I want to also reiterate the fact that for us to have chosen to work with Nigerians in diaspora, that means we also have a better understanding of the legal requirements of how things be done, globally. So we are here, we've been complying with Nigerian law and we've been complying with all laws of the other countries whenever we step out of the country. So we know that the only way we can play safe and continue to put value on the table is when we work by the law. And that is not discussable as far as we are concerned in Ultimate Health.
Impressive. Thank you so very much for this explanation. So now, having launched out, where are you looking at? And have you started having buy-ins from any of the countries where Nigerians reside overseas?
Yes, we also did a lot of research concerning the, the locations of Nigerians in diaspora. We know that Nigerians are everywhere under the sun, but the bulk of Nigerians are in the United States of America. And we've decided to pitch our tents in United States of America, first of all. And we are also looking at those states in the United States where we have larger concentrations of Nigerians. And that's where we're starting from. Thereafter, we're looking at the United Kingdom. We are looking at maybe Lisbon in Portugal. We are looking at France. We are looking at everywhere where there are Nigerians, and the focus is basically the diaspora. We are not limiting whatever we do in the diaspora to any particular country or location because Nigerians are everywhere and they have people back home. And people back home look forward to benefiting from them when the need arises to look up to them. And they are very responsible Nigerians, always giving back to their people back home.
Okay, thank you. You see how time flies? It's been a very refreshing interaction with you. And at Blue Rose Media, we are proud to be associated with this product, hoping that Nigerians living overseas in all parts of the world will be able to, just like you mentioned, buy into these services, because I tend to agree with you also that the bulk of the time, the problem Nigerians living overseas have is that of relatives calling them and telling them, oh, okay, we need to deposit $500,000, mom is dying, dad is dying, or this person is in a critical condition. And the hospital wouldn't give us any attention until we make certain deposit. And, you know, most of the time, because of the time difference, before such help is able to arrive, it's late. So I'll join you to encourage Nigerians who live overseas to think home and think health insurance for family and friends living back home, so that, as they say, health is wealth. And if we're able to nip it in the bud and take care of this situation before it happens, I think it will help everyone. So I thank you so much, Otunba Lekan Ewenla, for this expose. And we are hoping to have you some other time to have a review of how far you've gone with these wonderful product and services. So I would like to appreciate you. And for the last time, just in a minute, what would be your goodwill messages to your prospective customers who, after watching this show, would want to key into it, where do they go to and how do they buy this insurance?
Yes, we have created a special and a separate website for Nigerians in the diaspora on our website, and they should go to www.ultimatehmo.com. Once they get to that website, they would see the link to the Nigerians in diaspora website, and they should just visit. The website has been professionally designed to ensure that whatever anyone is looking at or looking for is well placed on that platform. My goodwill message is that we all know globally that Africans are very responsible people, and Nigerians in particular are very reliable and responsible people. We believe in family ties and taking care of that. Our extended family culture is very much alive and active. So, and we are alive to that responsibility. We individuals know that once they see any call coming in from home, they know what it means. But the better way to deal with that now is to just provide for their medical needs for 12 calendar months without looking back. And you know that whatever else you're going to be doing for them will certainly be to take care of some other needs. But health, like we all know, is wealth. And a healthy parent is a wealthy parent. A healthy family is a wealthy family. And a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. So we've seen how it is where we are in the diaspora. And what we're trying to achieve is to replicate whatever we enjoy over there for our people back home. Because, like I have heard quite a number of leaders saying it, if we do not take or make efforts to develop our individual countries, they will remain underdeveloped. So let us begin to take the bull by the horn by providing for the medical needs of our people back home. And it will lead to a healthy nation and a wealthy nation. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Otunba Lekan Ewenla. It's been my pleasure speaking with you today. See you some other time soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martins. Thank you. My pleasure being with you too. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right, viewers, that's the much time would permit today on the show, and I'm sure you did enjoy yourself as much as I did. Otunba Lekan Ewenla is a veteran when you talk about health insurance services in Nigeria. And like he did mention, health is wealth. And I am wondering, for you as a Nigerian living overseas, how would you feel if you wake up one morning and you receive a message or someone is calling you to say your loved one has passed because they could not provide the financial requirements to get medical attention? Because of time difference, many a times you are called upon at the time you are probably sleeping or you are at work and you are not able to attend to such emergencies. And before you realize it, it would have been late. And that's why it's very important that you look into this. So I want to believe that you have been properly educated or at least somewhat educated. So why don't you reach out to Ultimate Health Management Services, or you can contact us because like I did mention here at Blue Rose Media, we are proud to be associated with this project. You can reach out to us if you live in the United States or in other parts of the world. You can see our contact information out there. Get in touch with us and we shall properly guide you on how to procure any of your desired plans for yourself, your immediate family, and your extended family back home. So till next time when I come your way again, I remain Martin Sobu saying stay blessed, and I'll see you again.